Welcome to this episode of the LinkedIn Marketer. My name is Karen Hollenbach, and in this episode, I'm exploring how to create a board ready LinkedIn profile. If you're seeking board roles or you're a senior leader wishing to quietly refresh your profile to see what's out there, then today's episode is for you. Now, I know a number of my listeners are exploring non executive director careers, or they are living non executive director careers. So, this episode is really for you. And I also have a lot of people in my community who are exploring this as an option. So, since becoming a member of the Women on Boards community, I've been invited to share my LinkedIn insights as part of the Women on Boards WOBS X program. Now, if you're not familiar with this program, it's an intensive director led peer to peer support program that accelerates women into ASX board roles. Such incredible women in this program. And it's graduated almost 130 women since its inception in 2018, of which 15 have achieved at least one ASX role, while others have directorships on large organisations in the private, government, and superannuation sectors. So you're amongst good company because I have shared the insights with some of these people. So at this session and the subsequent LinkedIn profile session I ran for the WOB members, we explored how to maximize LinkedIn for their career with a focus on activating the very many free tools available via your LinkedIn profile to help build your influence and create a board ready LinkedIn profile. So, how do you create a board ready LinkedIn profile? What I'm loving about the increasing number of features available via your LinkedIn profile is that it can be used in many different ways. So, in the case where you're actively seeking board roles, there are some key elements of your profile to consider beyond your profile photo, experience, education, and volunteer experience sections, which of course are all important. And you can have a look at Think Bespoke's website and our knowledge base if you want some specifics on those things. Today's episode is really about the highlights to get your profile board ready. So the main one I want you to look at to start with is your headline. So this should be customized and include your areas of expertise, industry focus, and relevant accreditations. So I'm going to give you some examples. And if you are a GAICD, so Australian Institute of Company Directors, general member, you should definitely feature those 5 letters in your headline. So here's some examples of the sorts of headlines you might include. You've got up to 220, I think it is, characters to play with here. So C-suite executive, board director, strategic and governance leader, NED, which stands for non-executive director. You might also like to write those 3 words, non-executive director, if this applies to you, and GAICD. And how I tend to recommend you separate those is with the long I that you can access in the all caps below the delete button on a Mac, or it exists below the backspace button on a standard keyboard. Another one you might include, depending on your area of expertise and what your current role is, as well as your board roles, group general manager, talent and culture. So in this example of this headline, that's the person's actual role. They've then got board member, strategic advisor, consultant, psychologist. So that's specific to this person. Let's say you are a business owner and you are pursuing board opportunities, or you are establishing your NED career. You might have business owner, company director, senior executive, board member, business consultant, and coach. Or if you want to keep it more general, you might have something like board director, leader, innovator, collaborator. So if you're tuning into this and you are a Women on Boards member, or you are actively pursuing board vacancies, have a look at what they're looking for in terms of the board roles. So there'll be a set of particular focus areas. So it might be risk, it might be corporate governance, it might be strategic planning, it might be community, there's a lot of health, depending on the sector that you're in. These are the words and the language you want to be using in your headline because you're wanting to make it easy for the recruiters or the selection committee to have a look at your LinkedIn profile and see the headline and say, yes, this individual is someone we need to be talking to and exploring their suitability for our board. The next part of your LinkedIn profile, I recommend you review to help create a board ready LinkedIn profile is your About section. So think about this. How would you answer the question, please tell me about yourself? This is the role the About section plays in helping determine your suitability for a particular board role. So, when writing the About section of your LinkedIn profile for this purpose, I recommend you use a writing style that is less formal than your board CV, however, consistent. I do want it to be consistent with the information in your board CV. So, how you might do this is to inject a sense of your professional style and approach and write in the first person. So, this means you talking about you, not describing yourself in the third person. So, while writing in the third person about yourself may still be suitable for annual reports, for LinkedIn profiles, it can disconnect you from the reader. And the only exception to this would be if you are applying for roles at extremely conservative organisations who would prefer a more traditional approach. And remember that you are not the sum of your roles. So you are a unique individual with a relevant experience, qualifications, and know how who will bring a certain something to a board. And so the About section is your opportunity to tell that story. And while you may not need to use all of the 2,600 characters available in this section, what you write does give decision makers a sense of who you are, what you believe, and your credentials. And written well, I think the About section is a real opportunity for you to stand out and have the selection committee think, yeah, this is someone we really want to talk to and find out more about. Now, the background image is also important to consider, and all LinkedIn profile memberships, whether they're free or paid, allow you to add a background image to your LinkedIn profile. So to create a background image, please make sure you're sourcing copyright-free images. You can go to resources such as unsplash.com, or you can create it in Canva, and Canva often has templates for the right sizing for the background image. Now, if you've got a variety of different endeavours that you're interested in, you might use a series of different photos to represent this, or you can simply have a picture of a boardroom, or if there's a particular sector that you are focused on, make sure that image brings to life your focus and enhances the story you are telling, because the background image sits in that intro card, the top section of your LinkedIn profile. So along with your headline, it's a very powerful visual way for you to tell your story and make an impact to help make your LinkedIn profile board ready. The two final areas I'd like you to look at in the context of helping make your LinkedIn profile board ready are the featured section, and then also thinking about the open to work activation. So let's look at the featured section first. So this section of your profile allows you to showcase key information for readers. And if you're wanting to be considered for board roles, I recommend you activate this feature by sharing the most relevant public information, either about you, either from reputable news sources or from a LinkedIn post that you've shared that have featured you in a professional context. So I would ideally like to see 3 examples that enhance the information in your profile. And you can add external links, media, so images, PDF documents, and LinkedIn posts. So what you might like to do is flick your LinkedIn profile into anonymous mode and have a bit of a look at how other people have used the featured section to showcase or enhance the story they are telling via their LinkedIn profile. And then finally, the open to work feature. So I was asked both in the WOBSEX forum and also when I ran the half day LinkedIn profile writing workshop for the Women on Boards members, do we activate the open to work feature? Is it suitable if I'm applying for board roles? So yes, the open to work feature is suitable if you activate the recruiters only option. So make sure you specify your role title preferences, use the drop down menu to choose similar roles, and you can list up to 5 roles. So you might put in something like non executive director, non executive chair, non executive board member, non executive chairwoman, non executive chairman. These are all options available to you via the open to work feature, which is free on your LinkedIn profile. And in that way, if you're just notifying recruiters, you won't have that open to work around frame around your profile. There's more discretion, your profile photo, there's more discretion there. So it's important to know if you're concerned about your current employer finding out you're seeking board roles, ensure your employer is listed in your experience section of your profile. And to protect your privacy, LinkedIn takes the current company on your LinkedIn profile marked as I am currently working here to know who to hide your open to work status from. However, they can't guarantee complete privacy. So there we have it, some tips on how to get your how to create a board-ready LinkedIn profile. They're highlights, things for you to think about. Please do check back in with me. Come and say hello over on LinkedIn if you've got any further questions about how to build your influence on LinkedIn. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and share this podcast with your friends and colleagues. If you'd like to learn more about how to leverage LinkedIn, I'd love to be your guide. Sign up to my e-insights, my monthly newsletter that's packed with LinkedIn tips, thought starters, and exclusive subscriber offers. If you're just starting out on your LinkedIn journey, I'm so glad you've found me, and I recommend you check out my LinkedIn Profile Essentials online course. If you want to be the go-to for your organization's LinkedIn presence, I recommend you check out my LinkedIn Marketing Mentoring Program.